Alright guys, my name is Arshan Jawaid, this is One on One, and today we have an iconic man in the building. He holds a huge place in hip hop. You could say like he kind of birthed trap music, you know. Today we have Zaytoven with us. What's going on, man? What brings you to Vancouver?
Tonight, man, got a show at Fortune.
Yeah.
So it's like my second show in Vancouver, so
yeah,
I'm excited.
Cool, man. Yeah, well, let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
At one point you went from the Bay to Atlanta. You know, you could say that you worked around a lot of street people and a lot of people who are really about that life. What I'm wondering is, like, for artists that are making trap music, do you think they necessarily have to, you know, live that same lifestyle?
I will say, to make the music authentic and believable, a lot of times, even if you're not living that lifestyle at the time, that at some point you had lived that lifestyle. So I think that has a lot to do with, you know, those guys blowing up and being stars. Like, if you're rapping about trapping and selling, you know, and this and that, or robbing people, whatever, at some point, if you haven't done that in your life, then it's not gonna come off as believable. So I think, you know, for the most part, I know about 90% of the people I work with, if they're not living that lifestyle, they have lived that lifestyle at one point in time.
Okay, I got you. Well, in my opinion, I think that the producers are really what like made Atlanta, you know. It's trap music scene. So what I was wondering is, like, you know, you hear statements from people like Russ, you know, saying that, like, oh, you know, the producers are the ones that are like ruining rap music today, you know. As an OG in the game, don't you kind of feel like that's like discrediting you and like kind of, you know, wrongfully targeting you?
Yeah, because I mean, if the argument is that music, you know, a lot of music sounds the same, I mean, that's just with every season of music. If you go back to listen to rap music back when it first started, or the different eras, you know, at the time, all the music sounded like people was trying to mimic the sound that was hot at the time. So that's just, you know, that's just how it go. Music, I mean, I think the producers really keep the game going rather than hurt the game. Right now, the producers are almost as big as the artists, just because the beats mean so much to the music.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true, definitely. Yeah, well, recently I actually did see a picture of you and Trippie Redd together, and it just like made me think, kind of like, if you ask someone who's really old, you know, and like who's listened to hip hop, they'll be like, oh, you know, the hottest producer when I was young, you know, was Zaytoven. But at the same time, you know, if you ask someone who's in high school today, they'll also be like, yeah, man, one of the best producers today is Zaytoven.
Yeah.
How did you sustain such longevity and like stay so relevant?
One of the major keys is staying connected with the younger generation. That's what I always tried to do. I always got motivated by working with the new guys, whether it's a new producer or a new artist, you know. It's like I just got motivated by working with them. I felt like I got new energy, new flavor from the new artists in the game, and I think what helped is I've been a producer that never really like peaked out. I never been a producer that was like the biggest producer in the world at one point. I always just been a guy that's been, you know, I've been on the radar, but I kind of just been on a consistent path with it, you know.
Yeah.
When I came in the game, I kind of stayed the same. I might have nudged up a little bit, got a little bigger, you know what I mean. But at the same time, you know, I never really just peaked out where it's like, okay, we super tired of Zaytoven now.
Yeah, that actually is true now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that's very interesting in my opinion about you is your whole like sober lifestyle. You know, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't use profanity, and you have a strong relationship with the church. So like, yeah, it just got me thinking, what's like the different emotions when you're like, you know, out in Vancouver doing a concert versus like, you know, your Sunday in church?
It's almost close to the same thing, because I'm really the guy that's controlling the music for the most part, you know. So it's just, you know, it's almost the same thing. It's just it's kind of different emotions, because church is really kind of like a rehabilitation center where, you know, people that's hurting or need a certain word or a certain feeling, you know, they come to church and get healed. And then when you say like the party tonight, it's where people kind of go and let their hair down and have fun. So just being a part of both of those worlds and being influential in both of those worlds, you know, is a major thing for me.
Got you, yeah. Real quick, so the most memorable moment of Zaytoven for me, like when I think of you, it's actually dates kind of like a couple years ago to Rodeo by Travis Scott.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite album of all time.
Oh,
you know,
right, okay.
And when I think of that, automatically I think of the song 3500 and I think of the end, you know, the keys. Like that was beautiful. That was like one of my favorite parts. And what I'm just wondering is, what was like working with one of the biggest artists right now, which is Travis Scott?
It was just, you know, all of it is just major and big for me. Like me working with Travis Scott at that time just rejuvenated me to feel like, okay, now I'm just a brand new producer in the game. Even though I done had songs from years and years ago, moments like that made me feel like a brand new producer. So, you know, it's definitely a big moment for me.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. I love that song, honestly. Yeah, do you plan to work with Travis Scott more like in the future or no?
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I got an album that comes out May 25th.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Yeah, well, speaking of what you just said, you know, in response to Russ, I saw that you said May 25th album, Trap Holizay. Tell me, like, what can we expect from that?
You can expect, you know, of course, what Zaytoven does, the type of music I bring to the game, but it just has a new 2018 twist on it, and it's my way of putting gumbo together, my way of putting artists that never been on songs with each other before on the type of beats that they never been on, you know, together. Like I say this, I'm dropping a record in maybe I'll say about another week, maybe 2 weeks, and it features Yo Gotti, Rick Ross, T.I., and Pusha T.
Hey.
You know, it's just like that type of that type of gumbo.
Yeah.
That type of flavor on the type of beat. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, okay, this is amazing.
Yeah. So you guys have already recorded the song, got in the studio together, and everything's set.
Everything.
Dang, yeah. Pusha, I can't wait to hear Pusha. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, well, I just really gotta say, man, just like learning about you, because I'm just a kid, you know, compared to you. Like, I'm just a kid, and like just learning about you is really cool. Not only that you're a good person, but like, dude, you're like a really iconic figure in hip-hop, you know. So I just really appreciate that, you know, you took your time out to talk with me, and I hope you kill it at your show today.
Oh, we're gonna kill it.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. This was one-on-one, and this is Zaytoven. Let's get it.
Salute.
Okay, cool. Right. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, bro.
I'll like send it to you guys when the video's done.
Wait,
And everything, yeah.
Let's try to go this way. Yeah.
Came prepared, man. Yeah. Nice meeting you. Yeah, nice meeting you.
That's perfect timing too. The truck.
What was your Instagram, by the way? When do I add you? What did you say? I'll send you guys a
Truck
video.
is here too now.
Don't look like it. I don't think you guys can get that. Yeah.
Okay.